Hello, Amy White from Worthy Written Words, and today we're going to be working on God's Perspective page kit. So I'm going to be in my Old Testament journaling edition from Deseret Book, and we'll be in Job chapter 40. I'm going to be using some clear gesso today. I'm using the Art Basics in a tube. You could also use Dina Wakley. I'm putting it on the entire page and just working it through with a foam brush, and I'm using a craft mat underneath, but you could also just use a simple scrap piece of paper. And I'm going to put this over the entire page, and then I'm going to dry it. And if your page curls, that's okay. It's totally normal. It will flatten back out over time. I'm going to be using gelatos and my mini ink blender tool with some foam tops, and I'm going to start off with the boysenberry one first. If you don't have gelatos, you could also use watercolors or whatever you are most comfortable with to do this background. And this has like a creamy lipstick sort of texture, and I'm just going to fill it in. Generally, it doesn't have to be the whole thing. And next, I'm going to go ahead and apply the metallic blueberry. These are from different sets, so if you don't have the same colors, you can work with what's in your set. And I'm going to blend these together after adding this grape color in various places, all with the same mini ink blending tool, because they're all within the same sort of color family, so it'll work out fine. And if you don't have a mini ink blending tool, you can use your finger to do this part, and it will work just great. Another way you could do it is to use a wipe, like a baby wipe, and you could wrap it around your finger and blend it together that way. The only problem with doing a baby wipe is it will lighten the color and won't be as saturated, which you might prefer if you don't want it covering the words as dark, but you can read these words pretty easily in my opinion. So I'm just going to go down about 2/3 of the page with the blue, the different blues, and the purple. I'm going to be switching out my foam topper as I go into the more orangey red colors. Next, I'm using the metallic melon, and I'm going to just use a little bit of this since I have a lot more colors to squish in down here. And when you're switching out your topper, be sure that you hold down the white part and separate between the white and black parts. Otherwise, you can rip off the black part of your foam topper and it will ruin that foam topper and you won't be able to use it anymore. I think I used about 3 different foam toppers with this page. One's for the blues and the purples, one for the oranges and the reds and the yellows. And then I used the one that came in the kit. I used that with the gold gelato. That's also part of your kit. If you're using watercolors, you obviously don't need all those foam pads. So next I'm coming in with a mango, and then the yellow is lemon. And you don't have to go all the way down to the bottom with these two because we're going to be covering them up with black. So I just work with these colors, the yellow, the orange, and the metallic orangey red color in these bottom parts. And then I'm going to go in and add another coat of the darker blues, and this is just to try to darken it up. And again, be sure you switch out your foam pads when you do this. Otherwise, they'll just kind of all blend together into a murky browny green color. So I'm doing this to add more color and to try and darken it up. Next, I'm going to be adding passion fruit and bubblegum around the metallic melon area. And if you can only buy one set of gelatos, I think your best bet would be to get the Brights kit, because there are the metallic ones that I use. I think you can also find similar colors in the Brights. That would be my recommendation. Next, you're going to want to pull out the white and the black acrylic paints from your kit and grab a paintbrush. And we're going to start off with the white paint. And I'm going to add water to it to water it down a little bit. And adding it to my paintbrush, I want to be able to flick it onto my page. And if that doesn't work very well, then the other way you can do it is to tap it on top of your other finger onto your page. So I'm having a hard time getting it to work this first way, so I'll show you the second way where I just tap it onto your page. And if you're still having trouble, I would just continue to add more water until it becomes easier. Also, I am focusing my white stars on the blue parts and not really doing any on the yellow or the red as much because it's lighter so you wouldn't see the stars in real life. Now focusing on the black, I'm not even rinsing my brush out from the white because the sticker has some gray tones in it. So I just go straight to the black and blend it all together so it's not such a dark black. It's got a little bit of gray, and I am covering up the entire footnote section so that my word stickers will pop off the page. And I'm adding a hill on the margin section so that the trees are just a little bit higher, but that's totally optional. Next, I'm just adding the clear stickers to the margins and cutting off any excess with a pair of scissors on the other side. Now taking the moon circle in your kit and the gold gelatos, I'm going to put the gelatos right on the really textured side of the circle, and I'm going to use it around the border and not in the middle, because as I blend it together, as you can see in the video, I'm going to blend it towards the middle, but it helps to give a lighter part to the sphere that we're trying to create. Eventually, I pull in a clean foam pad and I use it to help me blend it in just a little bit more. When I've got it to the consistency that I like, I'm going to attach some double-sided sticky tape to only the half of the back and place it on the top of my page. Next, taking the strip of white stickers and then my gold gelatos, I'm just going to run the gelato over the stickers, and then I'm going to blend it with my mini ink blending tool. And after that is dry, then I can peel them off and attach them to my page. Finally, using a white gel pen, I'm going to just add a few larger stars at the top of the page around the moon. And the problem with gelatos, and the reason I don't use them very often, is that you can't write on top of the gelatos without usually destroying the pen that you're using. It will gunk it up, and I have ruined lots of pens trying to do words on top of gelatos. There are times where I've been able to put Elmer's glue on top of the gelatos and let that dry, and then I can write on top of it, but it's very finicky and only certain pens will work. And so this is something to keep in mind when using gelatos. And that's the final step for this layout. I hope that you guys enjoyed this page. I'll leave a list of all of the tools that I used in the video description, and be sure to subscribe to the videos as well as the kit so that you don't miss out on any of the future releases. Okay, we'll see you next time. Bye.